Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. When you hear the word yoga, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Is it complex poses, flexibility, or maybe just a great workout? Well, today, we're diving much deeper into the true essence of yoga, a meaning that might just surprise you. The word yoga itself has a fascinating origin in Sanskrit. It can actually be derived from two different root verbs, and this distinction is crucial to understanding its true meaning. If we derive yoga from yuj plus the suffix gain, it simply means addition. Think of it like 2 plus 2 equals 4. Pretty straightforward, right? But, and this is where it gets interesting, if we derive yoga from yuinj plus gain, it means unification. Imagine sugar and water mixing together. They become one. The sugar loses its individual identity. This concept of unification, or merger, is what truly embodies the real essence of yoga. Now, let's explore some of the major definitions of yoga. One of the most famous comes from Maharshi Patanjali, Yogaschitta Vritti Nirodha. This translates to the suspension of the mind's expressions or propensities. Our human mind, it's said, has 50 primary expressions, and even up to 1,000 secondary ones. These are called vrittis, and they're what keep the mind active and, in a way, existing. Patanjali suggests that if these vrittis are suspended, if their expressions are withdrawn, the mind enters a state of non-manifestation. It loses its outward expression, and this state is called yoga. But here's a thought. If the mind completely stops functioning, if it becomes like a desert with no flowers or fruit, how can it unify with anything? On one hand, yoga means unification, but in this functionless state, there's nothing for the mind to unify with. From this perspective, Patanjali's definition, while influential, doesn't quite align with the core meaning of unification. Let's move on to another definition. Sarva Chinta Parityago Nischinto Yoga Uchiyate, which means when the mind is absolutely free of thoughts, when it's completely thoughtless, that state is called yoga. Thoughts, endless thoughts, they rise and fall in the human mind like waves in a stormy ocean. Sometimes they bring joy. Other times, confusion, anxiety, even madness. Sad. In moments of sorrow, a person may suddenly burst into tears. Excited. In deep sleep, a child dreaming of a football match might cry out, "Goal! Goal!" kicking wildly in their sleep without even knowing it. But here's the question. Puzzled. When the mind becomes blank in sleep, thoughts arise at all. Can we call that yoga? Oh, wonderful. Emphatic. Certainly not. The third definition of yoga. Sayogo yoga ityukto, jivatma paramatmano. Yoga is the unification of the unit consciousness with the supreme consciousness. Imagine a single drop of water falling into the vast ocean. The drop no longer remains separate. It becomes one with the infinite. That is yoga. The word yoga comes from the root yuj, meaning to join or to unite. When our individual soul merges with the cosmic soul, there is no you and no me, only oneness. It's like sugar dissolving in water to make sweet sharbat. Once they unite, you cannot separate them again. This is the true goal of yoga, not just physical health, not just peace of mind, but to expand beyond all limits and merge in the bliss of the infinite. Of yoga is Human life has three dimensions. First, we have a physical body. It has its own needs and problems, and we must take care of it. Second, we have a mind, our inner psychic world. This too has problems: stress, worries, fears, emotional pain. When these mental knots are ignored, they grow, and sometimes they even break a person from within. Around the world, we see a constant rise in mental illness, a sign that these problems are not being solved in time. Third, we have a spiritual self, the deepest part of our being. The ultimate goal of our spiritual journey is to unite with the Supreme Consciousness, the infinite cosmic being, Parama Purusha. So, what is yoga? Yoga means harmony, and we need it on all three levels of life. If you only practice yoga in the spiritual sense, but ignore the body or mind, you lose your balance. Life becomes unstable, like a wheel missing its spokes. That's why yoga is not just about sitting in meditation. It's a complete movement, a way of living that keeps the body healthy, the mind clear, and the spirit connected to the infinite. True yoga is harmony in every sphere of life.